How you doing? So I just want to give an update to the Banquet rank rewards. So it looks like Kabam has shown us the final milestone, so which is around 7.2 billion points. So milestone 63. So I don't know if we're gonna hit the final milestone. I think it's around 50% chance we'll hit the final milestone. I was projecting we were gonna be about 7.1 billion when it's over. So we're obviously gonna surpass 7 billion points. The question is how much over 7 billion points are we gonna score? So as I mentioned in the first video, so when it comes to the top 3% and 5%, you really want to pay attention to the milestones. So if you score less than 45,600, the chances of you getting in the top 3% is less than 1%. You can just pretty much forget about it. When it comes to the top 5%, I think if you score 45,600, the chances are very good that you're going to be able to hit the top 5% with a score of 45,600. So I want to mention something before I give you guys what I think are cutoffs, or you can even say save scores. And I do also have guarantee scores, which I'm going to talk about later. So I want to first, before I give you guys my predictions when it comes to the Banquet rank rewards update, I want to thank this person right here. I really appreciate comments like this. You know, whether it's good or bad, I appreciate all comments, but especially this one right here from Capanchi, if I said that correct. I apologize if I said it wrong. Thank you. Your video was very thorough. Appreciate your work. So it really makes me appreciate making videos like this. As you know, when it comes to these videos that I make from MCOC or any, um, I don't get free. I don't get money from YouTube. Okay, I do this for free. Okay, it would be great to get paid by Kabam and by YouTube. You know, like some other YouTuber that still makes terrible predictions, but I'm not gonna mention any names. Preach the man. But yeah, so there will be rambling in this video, just letting you know. But I decided to save the best for last, and it'll be have a timestamp on it. So so some a big question will be like, how are you coming up with these numbers? You know, where are you getting these numbers? All I can tell you is I am him. Okay, you don't have to believe me, but let's just say I am him. And you know, the crazy part of about it is I just do it all in my head. Everything that I'm about to tell you right now, I did it in my head. Okay, so whether you believe it or not, you know, it's up to you. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest, but it's up to you. So when it comes to last year compared to this year, it looks like, you know, we're going to be around 36% higher in terms of score. I would even say up to 38% higher if we finish the last milestone, which is just over 7.2 billion points. So what is that going to be? Does that mean the average score will be 36% higher compared to last year? Not exactly, because when it comes to the rank rewards, okay, when it comes to like the top 50% versus the top bottom 50%, like they're not gonna be as excited to open crystals. Okay, when it comes to the bottom 50%, you know, no matter how good the crystals are, they're not gonna be like super excited compared to like the top 50%. Like, let me give you an example, like 7-star Punisher. If the like a bottom 50%, you know, gets a 7-star Punisher, to them, or I should say to us, it's just like, oh, another 7-star. But when it comes to the top 50%, it's gonna be like, whoa, they just think they just won the lottery. So obviously, the higher excitement you have, the more you're gonna spend in the game, or you're gonna spend your units in the game. So it's just like common sense, right? So I don't expect obviously gonna be the same average for every rank. As you could see, if you base it on my alliance, some of my alliance didn't really put up any points. So pretty little points, as you could see. So, and like I mentioned, like some people, regardless how good the crystals are, they're not gonna really participate on this event. So how is that gonna be different when it comes to the rank rewards? As I mentioned, it's probably gonna be at least 36% higher score compared to last year. When it comes to our projection, so I do believe uh, when it comes to the top 10%, which I think is gonna come up with half of the score, and I think it's the best way to do it. At least the most, I think, more accurate than splitting the two 50%, the top 50% and the bottom 50%. Um, since the top 10% is gonna what do you call this? Put up half of the points. I would say the top 1% alone is probably gonna put up about almost a billion points when it comes to the top 1%. So you just have to think, when you think about the top 10%, they're going to put up close to, if not half of the points when it comes to the banquet event. So what does that mean? Okay. So I do think when it comes to the bottom 90%, I expect them to have an average high score of 32%. Okay. And when it comes, and that's pretty much, I think, the high end. When it comes to the top 10%, I expect the score to be an average of 40%. And that's actually be the low end. So I expect it to be even higher than 40% average when it comes to the top 10% compared to last year. So when it comes to I believe the top 6% to 10%, I expect the score to be, I say, I would probably say at least 30% higher compared to last year. So what was the cutoff last year? It was around 22,000. So I expect the score to be around 28,600 if my math is correct. So yeah, so just letting you know that. And then when it comes to the top 600, I do think it has the biggest increase in terms of score wise. I expect the top 600 to be at least 50% higher compared to last year. So I expect the top 600 to be at least 210,000 for the cutoff. I don't expect it to be more than double compared to last year. So I don't expect the cutoff in the top 600 to be more than 280,000. Okay, if you want to go higher than that to be safe, that's up to you. But I not likely to be higher than 280,000 for the top 600, which will be double compared to last year. When it comes to the top three, I don't really know. That could be the most surprising one when it comes to the top three, because I don't really see anybody spending more money compared to last year. I think Super Broski, that's his name, I believe. He spent like over $200,000 in this event. I don't see him participating this year. Somebody had mentioned he's already retired. I'm not sure, but I don't really see the big difference when it comes to the top three compared to last year. But I expect the top 600 is gonna have the biggest increase compared to last year, at least 50%, I would say, when it comes to the cutoff. Another important note, if you want to know your rank, okay, so let's say you ranked 130,000. You're going to divide that by 650,000. So that means you're going to be in the top 20%. Okay, so let's say, you know, another example, let's say you placed around 6501. Okay, that's your rank. And you just missed the top 1%. Okay, basically, that's what it is. So let's say let me repeat that again. Let's say you rank 6501 and you place in the top 3%. That means you just missed the top 1%. Okay, it's not very, I wouldn't say that 6,500 is. So when it comes to the top 1%, 6,500 might not be the exact score, meaning that there could be 650,000 people participating for this banquet, but if not, it's gonna be close to that. Okay, it's not gonna be like 500,000 people or accounts participating for this event, or 800,000 account. Those are very unlikely. So it's going to be close to 650,000 if it's not the exact number. So let's go into my predictions. So here are what I think are safe scores when it comes to the Banquet event rank reward for 2025. So you could obviously, if you want to be extremely safe, I would just add 50% to your score. So for example, let's say if you want to be in the top 5%, just add 50% to your score. That means you will have 1.5 million points to secure top 5% at least, maybe even top 3% with that score. So if you want to be extremely safe, add 50% to your score. Okay. So yeah, it's fine. Oh shoot. So here's the solo. So there's three ranks that is bothering me a little bit. It's on the solo rank rewards. When it comes to the top 10%, I will be talking about that last, and then I will have a time stamp for the top 10%. So when it comes to the top 50%, it looks like we're projecting when it comes to the mean. So when it comes to the mean, it looks like we're projecting about 10.9, maybe even 11,000 per participation, which is really, I think is a lot, which is wow, right? 11,000 is the mean, which is, I think, pretty high. So what does that mean when it comes to the median? So when it comes to the mean compared to the median, it's guaranteed that the mean will be higher than the median. Okay, at least I would say 18% higher. The mean will be 18% higher than the median. But I still think top 50% is a safe score with 9305. But if you want to guarantee yourself the top 50%, I will score 10,400. Okay, and when it comes to, yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. So when it comes to 21 to 30, I do feel a little bit troubled by that score of 1 million points. I think the cutoff for the top 30, 21 to 30 last year was 800,000. So 1 million points might not be safe if you want to go for the top 30. I think 1.5 million is going to be extremely safe if you want to hit the top 30, I believe. Okay, that's almost double the cutoff from last year. So I would go to that score. So I think $1 million is pretty safe for first place. I don't really, the top three, it doesn't seem like it could be lower this year compared to last year. I'm not, obviously not certain for sure, but I feel like $1 million for first place is gonna be good. It's gonna be a safe score, I believe. So again, these are not guaranteed scores, but I do believe these are safe scores. So I believe if you do spend $1 million, you will get first place, most likely. So based on how much time we have left for the Banquet rank rewards and how many people are participating, based on our score, I can pretty much tell you guarantee scores, okay? And just take it with a grain of salt because somebody was asking like is 170,000 will give me top 1%. I said you're guaranteed to be at least the top 1% with 170,000. That will probably place you in the top 2,600 if you score 170,000. So this is just like to have a peace of mind, okay? So you, if you want to look at it on a positive note, if you do score like 170,000, you're gonna say, oh, at least I'm going to be in the top 1%. Even though you're probably shooting for the top 2,600, at least you're going to think, oh, I'm going to be in the top 1% with 170,000. So that's it. If you want to think about optimistically, the glass is half full kind of thing. So these are guaranteed scores, like I mean. So let me just give you an example when it comes to the Alliance Banquet rank rewards. Actually, let me give you an exaggerated guarantee score just to get the better understanding, perhaps. Let's say you score 150,000 points in the solo rank rewards, okay? And all you wanted was the top 10% at the least, okay? You're guaranteed you're not going to score lower than the top 10% with 150,000, okay? Let me just explain why, okay? So, let's say you score 150,000, just the top 10% alone will score over 9 billion points, okay? I guarantee I guarantee you we're not going to score 9 billion points unless Kabam, is cooking the numbers, which they known to do in the past, where they cook the numbers, where they increase the points when it comes to realm event. Unless Kabam is cooking the numbers like they did in other events, uh, we're not gonna hit 9 billion points. I guarantee you that. That's why mathematically, and it's really exaggerated just to make a better understanding, that if you score 150,000 points, you're guaranteed to have at least 10,000 points. It's just mathematically impossible for you not to be less than top 10%. Okay. So another example is when it comes to the Alliance Banquet rank rewards. Let's go with the top 10% to make it an example. 1.5 million points. Okay. So you kind of assume you have 30 members as well. That's an average of 50,000 points for having 30 members. Okay. 50,000 points could be the cutoff for the top 3%. I think top 5%, 50,000 points is an extremely safe score. So it doesn't really make sense if the cutoff could be 50,000 for the top 3% in the Alliance rank reward. Okay. And then for some reason, like, if that was your average score, it doesn't really make sense for you to be lower than the top 10% for the Alliance Banquet rank rewards. It's just mathematically not possible. I think 1.5 million points is extremely safe, even for the top 5%, I believe. Okay? So this is the Alliance Banquet rank rewards. Let's go the solo rank rewards. So let me mention something. Which one? Nope. That's pretty much it. These are what I think are guarantee scores. Let me just give you why these are guarantee scores. Let's talk about the top 10%. 50,000. Okay. When it comes to 50,000, that could be the mean for the top 10%. Okay. I expect the top 10% participation in this event to score at least 3 billion, probably 3.5 billion points when it comes to the top 10%. Okay. So that could very well be the mean for the top 10%. It doesn't really make sense for the mean for the top 10% to be 50,000 and you're placing in the bottom of that, the very bottom of that list, for you not to get at least 10 top 10% with 50,000. So if you score 50,000, you're guaranteed to be in the top 10%. Okay? It literally mathematically not possible for you to score lower than that if the mean is the top 10% is 50,000. So last thing I want to mention when it comes to guarantee scores, I'm going to hold myself accountable if none of my guarantee scores doesn't come through. Okay, I will quit MCOC if if none of my if one even just one of my guarantee rank scores does not come to fruition, meaning that it's higher than my guarantee scores. The chances are that happening is pretty much like 1 in a billion, probably 1 in a trillion. You probably have a better chance of winning the lottery in your birthday than any of my guarantee scores not coming true. Okay, just letting you know. So this is where the rambling starts. Okay, I want to talk about the most really important, the top 10%. Okay, so I put 27,455. If you went with that prediction and you don't get the top 10%, I'm gonna own up to it. Okay, it's my fault. I'm gonna take part of the blame for it. I'm not gonna say it's all Caban's fault or it's all Rich the Man's fault that I went with this score. As you know, when it comes to why I rushed my banquet prediction was because I saw Rich the Man's prediction. It was terrible. I was like, I have to correct this guy. This guy's prediction is terrible. So I end up rushing my prediction. And as far as like blaming Kabam or blaming Rich the Man, I'm not. I won't take like, oh, it's all their fault. No, I'm gonna take part of the blame for it. Okay, for rushing this. So I'm gonna own up to it. Like, that it's my fault that if we don't get the score with the top 10% of 27,455, uh, I own up to it. It is my fault. So just to show you how Kabam screwed us, and I think it's a scam. Look at the milestone. Okay, there's a chance we could hit milestone 63, and it's pretty much almost guaranteed that we're gonna hit at least milestone 60. Okay, we're pretty much going to get at least milestone 60, and there's probably a chance we could hit milestone 63. What did they give us for the first 5 days? Not just the first day. This is literally the first 4 days, if not the first 5 days. Look at the milestone they gave us. Milestone 23. Okay. Why, Kabam? Why did they only show milestone 23? That literally makes no sense. Okay. Like, they could have shown us at least milestone 26. Okay. They knew 100% guaranteed we were going to hit milestone 26. Okay. If I knew that we were going to hit milestone 26, I mean, if I knew we were going to see milestone 26, I would have changed my score for the top 10%. I would have said 29,000 for the score for the top 10%. Okay. And really, as I already mentioned about my first video, that I will not score higher than 27,450 points. Okay, as you can see here, proof I didn't do that. Okay, and I'm only 500 units away to getting probably the best offer Kabam has ever offered me, and I don't even have one of them when it comes to Deathless Champions, not even in my pay to win account. Okay, I don't even have one, and I could get this now for 500 units, purchasing 2 greater banquet crystals. Okay, but I'm not going to go for this deadlist champion, which I would love to have got it if I knew ahead of time we had that. Okay, but why would I not do it? Because it's called integrity. Okay, I said in my first video that I will not surpass 27,450 points, and as you can see here, I am not going to. Okay, so I'm just about to pass out the best deal for possibly for me ever in MCOC, 500 units to get a deathless champion, which I don't even have any of them. Okay, and I'm about to pass out the best offer I could possibly have in the game to buying the worst offer in the game. I would say the most expensive tier 5 class catalyst I think ever in the game, even probably more expensive than when they first came out. What I mean by that. So I think one of the reasons why I did it, because I was so upset about Kabam putting milestone 26. I wasn't thinking straight. So when it comes to the rank reward, I just accidentally bought 4 tier 5 class catalysts, which cost 620 units. So which is, assuming my math is correct, 620 units for pretty much a tier 5 class catalyst. Okay, 4/3 to be exact. I just bought the most expensive tier 5 class catalyst, so I accidentally thought this was the Alliance store. And this funny thing is, this is the first time I've ever done that, I think. Okay, and it really messed up that they put the rank up store and the glory store together, or whatever it's called, the Lion store now. It's, I think it I think it's a terrible idea to put all this whatever it's called together. Oh no. Yeah, so I think putting them together is terrible. I don't know if the Kabam did it on purpose so they can mistakenly spend their units instead of Glory Store. I'm sure. I can guarantee you, first. I'm not the only person that's messed up, confusing the rank up store to the glory store. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have done it, not just me. Okay, so that's it. That's it for my rambling. So again, I will take part of the blame. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's all Rich the Man's fault, or it's all Caban's fault that you didn't get the top 10%. And I will take part of the blame. Okay, I will. I will own up to it. So if I had to do it again, I personally think uh, if you went with the score of 27,455 points, it's 50-50. I would even say less than 50% chance you'll get the top 10%. So I would personally, if you want to be safe, I would go with 29,000 points. If you want to be extremely safe, go with 33,000 points. And if you want to guarantee at least the top 10%, go to 50,000 points. But I do think 33,000 is going to be an extremely safe score if you're trying to get to the top 10%. Okay, so, and that's about it. Thank you.